guys, today I am cooking some vegan mince burger patties. There is a lot of vegan mince out on the market at the moment. It is becoming super popular. Some is expensive, some is cheap. A lot of people don't know which ones to buy. I have a ton of friends who aren't plant-based and they're like, oh, it's so expensive, like I just don't know how I could afford to like eat vegan all the time. And it's really not, and I think people are like super misinformed when it comes to that kind of stuff. People also go, ew, fake meat, that is so gross, and I'm like, you're literally eating like dead, decaying flesh, but that's fine. So I just thought, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do some little videos to try and teach people how simple it is to eat vegan and to eat well and like to not have to spend $1 million to have a good meal and all the rest of that crap that I always get like bombarded with whenever I say, oh, I don't eat meat, and they're like, oh my god, it's so expensive, like how do you do it, like gross, like what do you eat, like salads? It's like, no, bitch please. I eat like pastas, pizzas, I eat everything, like I do not hold back, I love food. So this is the brand that I will be trying. You've probably seen it advertised a lot at the moment. It's sold in Coles. It is by Funky Fields. Their mince, they also do really good like butter spread. It's so delicious, but it is a little bit more on the pricey side. And you know, I love my butter, so I go through it a lot. So it's a special sometimes buy for me. But these ones, it's in the meat section, so it's like really easy to find. It's not confronting. It looks like mince, like look at that. It looks like real mince. A lot of the times that I find with vegan mince is that once it's cooked, it goes a bit like mushy. This one does not, which is awesome. So it really holds its texture. My partner is not a vegetarian or vegan, and we do eat a lot of vegetarian food, but you know, I myself also love like your classic spag bog and all that rest of the stuff. So to find a mince that we both really enjoy, that he's like, oh, it's like the same kind of texture, not like, ew, gross, vegan mince, like, is really good. And it's only $8, so it's basically the same price as what you would pay for like lean mince at Woolworths, but it's totally cruelty-free, which is awesome. Okay, so there's actually a, I've used this mince for like spaghetti bolognese and when I did tacos, but I haven't actually made burger patties with it yet. And there is a recipe on the back of the box to make the burger patties. So kind of depends what you're into. I am going to add half an onion. I'm going to chop it up and fry it a little bit so it's nice and soft. I am going to add in smoked paprika because I think it's just like so goddamn tasty. I'm going to do pink Himalayan salt and some ground black pepper. Yeah, I do home brown to like get over it, alright? I've also chopped up some parsley, which I'm going to mix through. And then I'm going to add some minced garlic. If you guys aren't buying like the big tubs of minced garlic to just have in your fridge for like when you run out of having fresh garlic, you're like, oh my god, I need garlic, and I'm like, oh, it's right there in the fridge, and it's been there for like probably 4 years, but that's fine because it still tastes like hectic. So I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to combine them all, and then I'm going to shape them and see how they hold together, because I find that's probably the biggest issue I have with veggie burgers is a lot of the times the patties kind of just end up falling everywhere and your burger is just like a big smush all over your plate. And it's I mean, like, I don't care because I eat with my hands anyway, but it can be a little bit annoying, and especially if you're trying to you know, introduce like these kind of meals into a normal meat eater's diet. It's really important to kind of keep it what they're used to. I feel like people get really stressed out and they're like, oh no, I don't want to like change and like eat something different, and you're like, oh, I hate you, like whatever. So keeping it as close to normal as possible, so like a lot of the times they're like, oh what, like I didn't even realize that I was eating not meat, is good. So I'm gonna start chopping up this onion. If I cry, it's not because I'm sad and depressed and alone, it's because the onion's making me cry. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about why I'm doing these kind of videos. So I love cooking, I always have. I spend ages in the kitchen whenever I can. I love doing, you know, like prepping meals. I love making yummy things. I love it, and I feel like there's so many people out there that do love it, but there's also a lot of people out there that A, hate to cook, or B, love to cook but just don't have time. So that's always why I find like a lot of people tend to opt for the meat options. Like it's just, there is a lot out there that's, it's quick and easy. Like you just like fry up a chicken breast and make some brown rice, and like that's a meal, you know. And I get that, like I totally get it. Like sometimes the meals that I do make, it is a lot of prep work for what I'm making, but I think it's really important to kind of like understand that food isn't just to keep you full. It's actually like really vital in terms of keeping you healthy. Like a lot of what we eat can fix us or prevent illness. So if you don't know like what kind of veggies are good, oh my god, this onion is like burning my eye. If you don't know what is good to eat, you should definitely start doing a bit of research. You don't have to spend hours, you don't have to go to school and be a, so I'm going to put my onions in my head. You don't have to go to school and be like a bloody like nutritionist or dietitian or whatever, but you know, there's so much information now out there on the internet for you to Google, like just learning the different types of benefits from the different types of fruit and veg, and that can just come down to like the different colors are good for different things. So, you know, like green is detoxifying, red usually has a lot to do with like heart health, white stuff like garlic and onions and stuff are good for immunity and like cleansing. So it's just, if you don't know that, of course you're not going to be able to make, oh my god, my eyes. Of course you're not going to be able to make educated decisions when it comes to eating, and it's like a lot of the time, you know, you're feeding your family, or for me, like my partner works a really physical job, he's constantly on the move, and like he eats like there's no tomorrow, and he's like bloody so skinny, and it's like the most annoying thing in the whole world. Like when your fiance can slip your jeans onto him without unbuttoning or unzipping them, it's kind of like cool. So he eats a lot. I wouldn't say like he's a big meat eater, but I mean, I love to think that maybe one day he would, but I don't think he's ever gonna not eat meat. And I'm not the kind of person that is like I can't be with you, you're disgusting. It's like, you know what, each their own. But if you're looking at what you're putting into your body, it's like, you just gotta make educated decisions, I suppose. I personally, like, I don't really eat eggs anymore. I've gone off them. Like, I don't know, I just don't like them. But one day when eventually we get a farm and I have chickens, I will probably eat eggs. I don't really have an issue with eggs itself. It's more so the way that the chickens are raised. It's just like, it's crazy. Like even when you're buying free range eggs from the supermarket, it's like, it's just so deceptive, and I just hate how much like we're just like, we think we're doing the right thing and we're really trying to do the right thing, but it's just like we're being lied to on such a massive level. So I'm going to cook these up now. Crazy thing that I learned is olive oil is really not good for like a high smoke point oil. So it's not good if you're cooking at a high temperature. So I'm going to be doing these on a really low temperature to like saute them. So I am going to use olive oil. If you're doing something like roast the veggies in the oven, or like something that's going to be like cooked at a high heat, you should use grapeseed oil. Is probably going to be the cheapest alternative for you. So I saw the other day at Woolworths, there was like this big bottle of grapeseed oil for $6, and I was like, oh my god, that's really good. Like it's a lot of oil. So that's a high smoke point oil. So is avocado oil and coconut oil, but obviously like avocado and coconut oil can be quite expensive, and if you are trying to, you know, live budget friendly, it's always best to know the alternatives. Okay, so I've sauteed the onions. Now I am going to mix it all up in a big bowl. So let's start, shall we? So we're going to do the mince. So that is what it looks like. Pretty cool. They've even got like the weird little white bits that normal mince has, that's like obviously like fat or something, I don't know, but like they've even got that. Like look at that, it looks like real mince, so you can trick people pretty easily. So I've got that in the bowl. I'm going to put in, so I just chopped up like roughly like just a handful of parsley. I'm going to sprinkle that in because I love parsley. And I got a little bit more left over. Sprinkle that in. Now, don't forget to wash your hands before you do this. I did not. But that's okay, because sometimes I feel like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or just makes you feel way worse. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now I'm putting in, I don't know if you can see that, the onions that I've sauteed. This is just because the burgers don't, obviously it's not meat, so it doesn't have to take as long to cook. And I don't like, alright, here's the thing. I like onions in terms of they flavour the dish, they're really great. I do not like onions when you can taste like the uncookedness of it, and when it's uncooked enough that it's crunchy and no, I can't do it. So my partner knows now if he's cooking a meal, he has to make sure the onions are cooked really, really soft so that I cannot, I'm a texture person, I don't do textures. Some things I'm like, no, not going in my mouth, can't do that. So that's what I'm like. I'm gonna put some smoked paprika in. Now I kind of just free fall because I'm like crazy like that, but I would do maybe like a teaspoon. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some on like that. That seems like about a teaspoon. Some black pepper. I'm just gonna do some black pepper. I would do like a teaspoon of black pepper again. And salt. Everyone is also afraid of salt, but you know what? Salt is great. It helps your body with water retention. Salt, like the pink Himalayan salt, is super high in minerals and vitamins. So maybe not vitamins, I think it's just minerals. So it's really great. Like every morning I wake up and I have my little liter bottle of water with half a lemon squeezed in and 2 pinches of salt. It's only the pink lime salt. Don't be putting in like your table salt because that's gross. Now I'm going to do minced garlic. I'm not going to do this with my hands, obviously, guys. But I'm going to do maybe half a teaspoon of minced garlic because I feel like minced garlic, sometimes it's like a bit more hectic than normal garlic. So if you're using a garlic clove, I would do a full garlic clove, but just like, yeah, half a teaspoon of the minced garlic. Alright, I'm going to mush it around with my spatula, but I'll show you guys what it looks like quickly. So that is it all there. So here is the final product. So that's the little meatball one in the middle, and then I made 5 patties. Alright, so pretty stoked with that. It was really tasty. It was very similar to meat, held its texture well, cooked well, was pretty darn delicious. Definitely gonna make it with the sauce though. So I'll see you next week with another recipe. I hope you enjoy it if you try